All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol SNDL, Sundial Growers Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel. Invest for tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back. And I do want to announce to all investors the launch of my website. I just launched it last week. For those of you that haven't had a chance to check it out, there's a forum section and a members options. I highly recommend looking over it. And it is optional to join, but I do want every single one of you to be aware of it and be aware that the link will be down below in the description. So here we are with SNDL in bearish territory since December 4th and has been in a bearish trajectory for quite some time. Now, we are seeing here in the last couple of days, basically this week, it's been in sideways movement. It's kind of just holding itself up. I've stated that if it breaks through the 46-cent range, we would see newer lows. And it certainly did that at one point in the day. It's our new support level, which we're going to look at in just a moment. But it didn't last for too long. It only lasted about 30-minute time frame, and that's about it. But now that we have a new low, we need to watch it very carefully. So the tug of war here is on between the bulls and the bears, and we're going to want to watch this. That 46-cent range and that point right there of reference is super important, because if it breaks through that, and even the support we're about to talk about, the new one for tomorrow, we need to watch how significantly is it going downwards, or are the bulls trying to hold it up. I mean, the bulls right now so far have been holding it up, but breaking through that 46-cent mark and even the new support that we're about to talk about that only lasted 30 minutes, but it hit it. And if it breaks through these points, we need to watch it very carefully, right? So there's two ways it could go. The bulls are going to take advantage of the fact that this has been holding up and the 50-day moving average is slightly getting closer and closer to the price, making it easier for the bulls to gain momentum and get back into bullish territory like they tried here, right? But it didn't work. They got pulled down. Or the bears are actually going to start to pull this one down and tear it down, because they're getting closer and closer to these supports that they want to break through. But it keeps holding itself up due to the fact that the bulls reappear and actually settle this one slightly above that 46-cent range. So the 50-day moving average is 49.74 to be exact. Let's see if I can land exactly on it. Yeah, it jumps around, but to be exact, it's 49.74. We are currently sitting at 47.20. That's almost a 2-cent difference from where we're at. We're going to look at our resistance level, and we're going to look at our new support. So this is the newest low that we've seen this hit in the bearish trajectory, and it slightly broke for a 30-minute time frame below 46 cents. So let's look at it here. So it's 45.10. 45.10 is super important to keep in mind. I mean, breaking through this support means that we've broken through 46 cents again, and we're breaking through a newer low, pulling this further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. So we need to keep these numbers in mind, and we need to watch this very carefully, because if this support gets broken through significantly, and even the 46-cent one, which means it led up to this support, it could be on its way down deeper into bearish territory and pulling further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. So we want to keep these numbers in mind and pay very, very close attention to how the stock is reacting. It's still holding itself up. That's a decent sign. I know I see a lot of people saying, negative outlooks on the company and so forth. But I believe personally what is going on here, it's holding itself up in hopes for January and moving forward the beginning of next year, or once the next president-elect comes, right? All those things are holding up the stock price slightly due to the fact that that is something positive in the outlooks, as I've talked about it in my other videos, for this particular sector of stocks, and SNDL falls in that sector that will receive some positive outbreak due to the fact of the next president-elect and so forth. Now, the other thing as well is it passed in the House, so it's holding itself up in hopes of a pass in the Senate. We're still waiting on that. So that's another thing too. It hasn't just completely collapsed, because if the Senate was to just already be known that it was going to not pass, or they stated it wasn't passing, or it wasn't even going that way, or if it didn't even pass in the House, this collapse here wouldn't have been the only collapse. It would have probably ended up back to where it was before all the hype. But one of the things I'm noticing here that's holding this up is the hopes of the Senate passing the bill as well. It passed in the House, so it gives it some type of hope here. But we need to watch this closely, because if it breaks through these supports, there's no news or Senate or House bill that's going to hold this up until speculation and excitement attracts more investors. So that's why these support levels are so important to watch right now, while there's nothing that's creating a catalyst other than just watching the chart, right? So here on the other hand, we have our resistance, and this resistance is 48.99. That needs to be broken through for the bulls to continue to pull away from it, right? And turn it into a support and work their way up closer to the 50-day moving average and get back into bullish territory. So it's super important for the bulls to break through 48.99, but I want to emphasize to all investors, this does not signify that the bulls have gained control, that they're guaranteed to break through the 50-day moving average, and that this is going to be guaranteed back into bullish territory. This is just an indicator for us investors to know that this is heading on its way up. If it gets turned into a support, the bulls can pull away from it, and they're not too far away. They're now 1 cent away, or almost half a cent away, from breaking through the 50-day moving average and getting back into bullish territory. That's what that indicates to us. It shows us where the momentum is going, but the bulls need to turn it into a support, pull away from it, break through the 50-day moving average, and get deeper into bullish territory by doing so. So before getting to any of those numbers in bullish territory, 48.99 needs to be turned into a support, and that could be the beginning catalyst to continue to work its way up. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and in that video, I will be discussing about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising several points on scheduled dates. As you see here on the graph, these circles are the dates that the pumps have happened, and I use them as examples to show you guys how much the stocks have risen, and the S&P 500 index rose on those dates. And the reason why it's rising is due to the fact that the Federal Reserve is pumping the markets. On these dates, the charts and the dates speak for themselves, as we can see it here, and I break it down into more detail in the video. But just to summarize it, on these dates, the S&P 500 rises, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with it, anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share. I know it may not seem like a lot, but per share that does add up, and these individual ticker symbols are giving you back profits. These are profits, and like I always say, profits are profits. Whether it's $1 put into the market and you get back $2, you've put in an initial investment and you got back more than what you started with. That's what it's all about. And also in the video, I go into further detail showing you guys these dates and showing you how much it rose. Like for example, this was one of the last pump dates, and the lowest point that it reached was down here at 35.11, and the highest point reached was 35.57. That's like a 40-point jump. And here we're seeing the same thing. It went down to 35.88, and it rose up to about, I'd say, let's see, this is all still in the same day. It rose up to about a total amount of 36.23. When you do the math, that's almost a 40 to 50 point jump, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with this. Now, I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm just here to inform every single investor on the great news, on the opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses. You have to do your due diligence and research, but these charts and the dates speak for themselves. I mean, this was probably one of the largest jumps that I've seen in the last couple of pumps, and it was down here at 33.02, and it rose up to about 33.88. That was an 80-point jump. There was probably ticker symbols rising up more than $3 per share on those dates. And even on these dates, there's individual ticker symbols rising more than $3 per share. Check it out, see for yourselves, and my best advice is look for ticker symbols that may be resembling the behavior of the S&P 500 index, and you'll be able to go ahead and give it a shot. Check it out. Again, I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm just here to go ahead and share the information along with every single viewer and investor. The video should be popping up soon. If you haven't seen it already, pop up. There is the link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.